Making a salad for lunch today with some of the frisée that you might have seen me plant last fall. So this has been coming in from my greenhouse and it survived all winter and is giving me lots of salads here in this early part of spring. So I've got frisée, and on the salad today we're also going to put some sorrel. If you haven't had this before, it has a lemony flavor to it and it acts perennially. We'll hop out to the greenhouse here in just a little bit and I'll show you some of the things that are growing out there. But as well as greens, there are herbs. I'll show you, this is lemon thyme, and it's just like a carpet out there right now, and you can just strip the leaves and they go on the salad as well. And I've also been adding things like oregano and fennel fronds. So let's go ahead and I'll pause here and we'll go out to the greenhouse and I'll bring you in, kind of duck my head in, and we'll see what's going on in each one of those. And I think we will start with this one. This is lemon thyme, and it has just been making a carpet in here, running down the side of the bed. And I've got it on both sides. So this whole stream in here, this was just one plant on each side that has traveled that far. And I've transplanted in some pansies that should bloom shortly, and then have started direct seeding some radishes and beets. So that's one of my strategies you're getting to see here. Is I've got mostly transplants, but then what looked maybe from a distance like some bare soil is actually places where I'm starting to direct seed some things to fill in. Then this bed also has a lot of Italian dandelion. This is Cleo. And you'll be seeing a lot of celery today. That's something that has planted itself for me a lot, where I let it go to seed in here. And the Swiss Chard has just been iridescent. The colors have been so fun to start harvesting and bringing some of those in. There are chives, and I started my chives from seed, but this is something else that really spreads. So there were not that many plants to start with. So that's a good one. If you need to get just a pot from the store, you can multiply that pretty easily. And there are several calendula plants in here that should bloom for us soon. And you can see where I've been harvesting some Radicchio already. It's starting to grow some little ones. There's some fennel in here. They say fennel is hard as a companion plant, but I haven't had any trouble with it along the side here like this. And some more pansies, and then lamb's lettuce, or vit is something that is also called. It has been here through the winter. It's a great cool weather crop, and you just pinch the center buds and they will regrow. Those need to get a little bit bigger. I've gotten a little bit of powdery mildew here as the spring has gone on. That doesn't usually happen, but it's been interesting weather. There's also arugula that I'm direct seeding, so that's another thing I come in and fill in the bare spots. There's a cauliflower in there and some random spinach that survived the winter. And it looks like there's a little bit more bare space in here because there are some more transplants that need to come out. And then I'm going to be direct seeding some cucumbers back in the back. So I need to show you another little bit of strategy here, and that is I've already started my dill that's going to be the companion plant for those cucumbers. And the next greenhouse has some similarities, starting with a Radicchio. This is an early Treviso that I've harvested off of already. And you can see the little baby ones starting to pop up around the side there. And that happens with pretty much any Radicchio. And it lets me keep harvesting some things through the summer when my lettuce is drying up. And then we've got a Mitsuba. It's a Japanese parsley. Very unique flavor, large parsley leaves, great for finishing stir fries. And you can see the little flowers forming there. It will reseed itself all over the garden, so saves a lot of planting time and just keeps going. And a couple random carrots mixed in here that are still hanging out, and some more calendula. So you will see calendula, and then there's another pansy there as well. And here is the frisee that showed up in the salad, and it has been here since the fall. A row of leeks, another thing that has been here since last year. And then here is the flashy butter gem lettuce that I actually planted in a lettuce planting video for you, and a Calabos cabbage. And this is a chance to show when you know when it's time to let go. So you can see how pretty that cabbage was. And here is another one that was in the same seed tray that it didn't take off, and the aphids came after it, and so it's about to come out of the garden. And back to some happier things. This is a Kelway Golden Chamomile. So it's a chamomile, but it is golden, it's yellow, and it is now perennial for me. So something I started a while ago that keeps coming back, and it will reseed itself other places as well. The carrots, you can see, were actually planted last fall and have overwintered, so they will mature as an early batch. And then next to that, you can see a row of small ones that I did start this spring. So if you haven't got carrots in yet, it's a great thing to go ahead and get started. And there's another cabbage in here, and more celery, another cauliflower as well. And it was a transplant that the weather timed a little differently for me, so we'll see how that does here this year. And then more of that, it looked like blank space, but it's actually where I've started direct seeding. There's some arugula again, and there's some spinach that has survived the roly-polies and slugs so far. It's a really sweet spinach, so they like that one. A Pablo lettuce. And then I also direct seeded some turnips in here, but we had 80-degree weather and really strong winds that just dried some of those cool season things out early. So I'm going to contrast this with what some turnips should look like. And in this next greenhouse, these turnips were actually planted later, but they missed some of the crazy early 80-degree days and came up quite a bit easier. And there are other cool weather greens in here, like this purple lady bok choy. And let's see, I've got a giant red mustard that you can see tucked back in there. And then some more carrots. Carrots will show up in several of the beds. I'm actually using them as kind of some dividers this year. They're easy companion plants for a lot of things. And just a quick peek at this greenhouse, because there's not a whole lot in here. There was kale, and it's usually something I can count on through the winter, but the weather this year did not agree with it like normal. And where it left blank spots in here, celery has seeded itself and has had a space to come up. So a lot of that will get replanted. And then I wanted you to see the calendula that is blooming already. The kale that survived the best this year was Thousand Head. And then this is the red vein sorrel that you saw going into the salad inside. And last but not least, we have the herb garden and a fennel forest in here. And then I've got some lemon balm. And both of those have been going into a tea with some mint. I've really been liking that combo here lately. And then get through the fennel forest and we will see some oregano that has just taken off this spring. So things that they would be perennial normally, they come up even sooner with the greenhouse there to help. And then I've got some mojito mint. And there's chervil. It has an anise flavor to it, and chocolate mint. And rosemary, I'm able to keep that because of the greenhouse. It's a tender perennial. And there's sage in here as well. And I need to give you just a little bit of a teaser for later. There is an orchard behind the greenhouses that I planted in 2017, 2018. I'm not remembering right now, but it has been in beautiful bloom this spring, and we're starting to have some little apples showing up, some baby peaches that thankfully survived our late freeze that we had. It had already bloomed, but seems to be okay. And there are berry bushes that connect the orchard to the greenhouses, and this is aronia berry starting to form. And then inside, we've got all the warm weather things that are just about ready to go out. We've got tomatoes and okra. I've got a bitter melon it's a new thing I'm trying this year. And so I've always got my staples that I know will work, and then I've got to sneak in those new things. So a bitter melon I'm trying, and I started it maybe a little earlier than I should have. It was supposed to be tougher to germinate. I soaked the seeds and I nicked them with a nail file because they have a really tough outer shell, but on the heat mat they took like 5 days to come up. So I've got them ready just a little bit earlier because they like the heat, and I was going to have them out in the heat. So we'll see. They're growing fast. We'll see how they do. But it's warm weather things and peppers, and we should probably talk about things that if you don't have started yet, like peppers, they take a while. These guys they've been in here since early March. And I probably want to keep them another 3 weeks or so before I would actually set them out. So they take a little while to grow. If you don't have your peppers started yet, that's definitely something you would want to get from the store this year. The same thing with eggplant. And other things that take a while, I've got a chamomile. This one has actually been in here since February. So chamomile is something that takes a little while to get started if that's something you would like. Something you could definitely start right now, I've got some more frisee. So that's what we started the video with. It was what's in the greenhouse right now was planted last fall. And so these are my new guys ready to take over. They are something that you could definitely plant right now, either direct seeding in the garden or starting a cycle to keep going inside. And any of your Radicchio varieties are things that you could start inside or direct seed. And so I've got a combo right now of direct seeding outdoors, as well as I keep my seed rack as full as it will go. What else is in here? We've got basil. So basil is something that it is fast to germinate, but it takes a little while to get to maturity. So if you don't have basil started yet, you might want to snag just 1 or 2 plants from the store, and then you could save yourself some money by getting more of your own starts going. Because I spied at the store, and starts are like $5 a pop this year in my area. So there's like hundreds of dollars worth of seedlings in here. So if you can kind of go back and forth like that, get a couple from the store to kind of carry yourself over, and then you could start to have that mountain of pesto later. You could have your own plants for later in the season then. So I've got all kinds of basils in here. They're great to start indoors. I've got a cinnamon basil, looks a lot the same. This one was a mamalo. It's a Genovese style. This one's a cinnamon basil, and I've also got a Thai basil, which Siam Queen is the name of this one. So they're going to be great companion plants all throughout the garden, especially with tomatoes. And there are lettuces in here. Any lettuces would be great to start direct seed outdoors or start that cycle indoors as well. So that should hopefully give you some ideas. And if you haven't started any seeds with me yet, I'll make sure to link. I've got a whole playlist for you we've done tomatoes and lettuce, and I've shown you my seed starting rack. So that's in a playlist. I'll get that linked up. And then I also have the seed starting course that I made for you available on my website, theimaginegarden.com. So I hope to see you there.